And we are now headed into Silver Spring State Park, and there is going to be a glass bottom boat in there. And they say that this is the place that they invented the glass bottom boat. So let's go check it out. This is Steve and Samantha going into Silver Springs. We didn't get to see any monkeys while we were there though. We are standing here waiting to get on that boat right there and go on the glass bottom boat tour. And get on Chief Yahaluchi's boat.
Air
There we
bubble.
go.
Air bubble.
We're going to head about 75 yards down the river here, take a right-hand turn into this first cove, and that's where we will begin the tour of the spring. Once again, my name's Robbie, and I would like to welcome you all aboard the world-famous glass bottom boat tour here at Yes, sir, we are deep in alligator country. The only problem is that it has been cool lately. I've only seen one alligator today. But it's very possible. It's not to say we're not going to see one. It's just, you never know. These are all wild animals. Nobody's captive. We don't feed anybody. So it's just kind of up to them doing whatever they do. We have smaller, more lackluster springs, but nevertheless, this is a spring. And it's the first one that we're going to see today. All of the springs that collectively make up the Silver River put out 800 million gallons of fresh water every 24 hours. This water does come directly from the underground aquifer located beneath the ground here in Florida. The Spring of Stars was named after all the many movie stars and many movies that were filmed here in Silver Spring. For those of you who have ever seen or heard of the movie The Creature from the Black Lagoon, this next spring is called the Creature Spring. And back in 1953, this is where Gilman made his home. One was a 6.5 foot tall gentleman. Gilman one mentioned appearance on land, and the other was a guy who could hold his breath for a really long time. So that's where they got their name from, down here in the Creature Spring. Alright folks, this right here is called the Abyss. The Abyss is 81 feet deep. Now the only reason that the Abyss is 81 feet deep is because that is as far as anyone has ever made it down into the Abyss. Not too long ago, we had a little tiny scuba diver lady come and try to tell us how deep the Abyss is. But at 81 feet, her air tank would not fit any further. So she came back upstairs and proceeded to drop a mile's worth of weighted line down into the abyss. And it never touched the bottom.
Wow.
So we don't know exactly how deep the abyss is. Rumor has it. And I was not here to see this, so I can't back this one up. But they say that when she pulled that line out of the abyss, there was a note attached to the end. And it was written in Chinese. So maybe that'll help you to wrap your mind around how deep it could be.
Somebody built a structure down there?
That is actually the remains of Captain Blackbeard's third pirate ship. In his fleet of pirate ships that intercepted the Queen's dowry on its way from Spain. I'm just kidding. It used to be okay. I wish I had a better story. That's the
Oh yeah. The Florida snowstorm.
Mother's coming out here.
What did you say? So the spring is
Water coming up out of the spring.
That's pretty
You can see
cool.
the water coming in.
Yep.
All right, folks, moving right along into the Spring of Life. The fun part about the Spring of Life is this long rock formation coming into view underneath the boat here. For a long time here at Silver Springs, we thought this was a set of dinosaur bones. So we had some scientists come to town from the University of Florida and explain to us that this is just lime rock like everything else. But while they were in town, they had the forethought to do something called carbon dating on this long strip of wood that has always lay right next to the not dinosaur bones. And that turned out to be the remains of a 700-year-old canoe that was built by the Timucuan Indians that lived along the river here. The Timucuan would build these canoes out of the cypress tree, which they called the eternal wood. As long as you keep cypress wet, it'll be preserved for many years, making it a very convenient material to make a boat out of. Now, of course, the sides have obviously rotted away and floated off a long time ago. But the thickest part of the underside of the hull is what we're looking at right here. And my favorite part about the Spring of Life is I can't help but think how many years worth of trips that people brought to this very spot and was like, this is dinosaur bones, y'all. And everybody was like, that's amazing. That was back when Silver Springs was privately owned. It was an amusement park. We had several different rides. You could feed all the animals. And from what I've heard from the senior captains, some of which have been around for over 50 years still operating these vessels, they say that they used to just make up whatever they wanted. Back in those days. And as long as you were amused, everyone was happy. But since then, we've been acquired by the state of Florida. We are now a state park and an animal sanctuary, and we boat captains are now privately contracted to operate these vessels, mostly for safety reasons. And we've been encouraged to stick to the facts. Because it's been submerged underwater ever since it fell, you could take this tree out of the water today and cut it into perfectly usable lumber. Underneath this cypress tree, there is a Spanish explorer's rowboat that was left here back in the 14 or 1500s, back when the Spanish were exploring Central Florida. They used to use these rowboats to paddle up the inland waterways to avoid having to hike through the soft, swampy ground of Florida. This boat was left here around the same period of time that the Spanish gave Florida its name, which means the land of flower.
See the rowboat?
Alright, I'm going to try to get a good view here where it's got some
See the
sunlight
rowboat?
on it.
What are you learning, Samantha?
Basically told the U.S. I don't want to leave, and then they started a war. Don't really blame him. I don't want to leave my home either.
And who was this?
Osceola.
And who was he?
He's a Seminole Indian chief,
So, he put the knife through the
or a sub-chief rather.
peace
Peace treaty.
treaty and said, "No
That's
way,
not actually peaceful. You're lying.
we're not leaving." The story is, if you stand inside this tree, you will have 5 years of good luck. Hopefully that's true. Okay, this is called the sable palm tree.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, Samantha.
Florida's state tree, and it is very important for the Seminole Indians because the bark on the outside they used to make long houses, and then the tops of the tree, what are those things called? Not leaves.
Plum.
Yeah, I guess they did call them leaves. They're used today for roofs, and they could be woven into hats or baskets. And then the heart, called the swamp cabbage, was eaten raw or cooked, but that would kill the tree. So it wasn't like you could just take the bark off and build a house with it. If you eat the cabbage, it's dead.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool.